NBC News medical contributor Dr. Natalie Azar joins us now. Dr. Azar, good morning. All right, so after every holiday last year, including this one, Memorial Day, we were talking after about a surge in cases. This year, nearly half of all Americans have had at least one vaccine dose. Does that mean we can stop worrying about post-holiday surges, or are you worried about an increase in cases after this three-day weekend?
You know, Savannah, last year we really did see it after every major holiday, Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day. I'm not that concerned this year. Where I am going to be concerned are in geographic pockets, for example, in the South, that don't have the same kind of vaccination rates as we do here, especially in the Northeast. I think we are going to see a little bit of a bump in cases, but remember, most folks are going to be doing things outside rather than inside, and so we know that that significantly mitigates the risk of transmission.
So now, Dr. Azar, as we talk about vaccines, kids under 12 are still not eligible, of course. So what should families do if they want to go on vacation, if they're planning to this weekend, anytime over the summer? Should those kids still get tested and mask up if they're visiting other family members? We hear that they can't get sick as much, but they can still carry it. What's the risk here, and what do they need to do?
You know, I think the biggest thing to keep in mind here, Savannah, is that the guidance for unvaccinated folks hasn't changed. And unfortunately, that includes children. So if you are planning on traveling and you are a fully adult vaccinated household, but you still have young kids who are unvaccinated, I would still advise to get them tested 1 to 3 days before travel and 3 to 5 days after travel, and also to lay low, do that little quarantine for about 7 days after you return. And even if you are vaccinated, if you do develop symptoms, you should still isolate and get tested. So, you know, it's tough. I know a lot of folks have this sort of mix match in their houses. Yeah. You know, when you're outside and you have young kids, even if they're not vaccinated, I think they could go without a mask. But I think people still need to just, you know, button down a little bit, because we know that kids can spread to adults, and we just don't want that to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Good reminders there. And I'm hoping that you can give us a couple more. So we're going to basically be seeing airplanes as full as they were in pre-pandemic times. We've kind of already been seeing that certainly over this weekend. That's expected. And someone's going to be sitting in that dreaded middle seat now. I think we all know at this point to keep our masks on. That's not only required, but of course, the smart thing to do. Sanitize, wipe your seat down, all that kind of stuff. So with those precautions in place, and if you do all that, is it safe, in your opinion, to fly on a totally full plane right now?
Look, during eating and drinking when masks are off, that's obviously going to be a concern. And vaccinated folks do not need to obviously show, you know, documentation of their vaccination status. So you have to assume that when you get on a plane, there's probably going to be a mixed crowd. That said, the air filtration and circulation on airplanes is very, very good. And we really haven't seen a lot of viral transmission in that scenario. You know, driving a car is considered a little bit safer. You can control your environment and how many people you come into contact with. But, you know, air travel is important. We need to keep that industry alive, and we all do need to start, you know, feeling a little bit more normal. I just think you need to use common sense with the precautions that you take.
Yeah, and according to a report we'll have later in our show, unless you've got your own car, you might have trouble renting one, which we'll get to a little bit later. Dr. Azar, as always, thank you so much. Good to see you. Happy Memorial Day.
You too.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.